Hi everybody, Alex Apro here from Expert Forex, and in this video we're going to look at why you should demo trade a new robot for 2 to 4 weeks, and at the same time we're going to cover what you should be doing in those 2 to 4 weeks to make sure that you get the best out of your trading robot. Now what you're going to see today is going to be the difference between this chap here and this chap over here. So please pay close attention to what we're going to be covering, because it could mean that big difference. So let's have a look at what do you do in the 2 to 4 weeks that you are testing a new robot. Now to start with, before I go into that particular checklist, one of the things that we have realized over the 20 years of trading experience dealing with clients is that there are certain aspects that are consistent with failing clients. And what we've done is we have built in a warning that you have to tick. You have to actually tick each tick box off before you can trade our EAs on a live account. Now, obviously, you can actually just plainly lie about the answers to these questions, but at least we're making you aware of what you should be doing before you trade a live account. So let's just go through the main points. The first point is about position sizing, because that's the number one failure point with Forex traders. They position size poorly. The next question we ask is, have you actually tested the EA before you're trading it live? And the next one is, are you perfectly happy with the results that you've achieved? So we're basically saying, don't trade live if you haven't at least achieve profitable results demo trading. Then we make sure that you understand and accept that past performance is not necessarily an indication of future performance. So in spite of you testing for 2 or 3 weeks, it's not a guarantee that the next 2 or 3 weeks will be profitable. But the next point is, you need to take full personal responsibility for your decision to expose yourself to all the risks of Forex trading when trading a live account. And there are many risks. Again, the most critical point is you should be trading money that you can afford to lose, and that will not cause any hardships if your capital is lost. Very important. There can be hundreds of reasons why you could actually blow your account without much going wrong with the actual strategy that you're using. There could be internet disconnections. There could be all kinds of things. So let's move into the actual checklist of what you should be doing in those 2 to 4 weeks to become a confident Forex robot trader. And the first point is, as mentioned earlier, check for lot sizing errors. So in other words, our set files are produced using a $10,000 account and using lot sizing of 0.1 in most cases. That means that if you had a $1,000 account, you should be using lot sizing of 0.01 for your lot sizing. Now, I have come across too many traders to mention that go and trade 10 versions of the EA on a $500 account using lot sizing that is applicable to a $10,000 account for one EA. So they are multiplying their risk by 20 times, and you're almost guaranteed to blow your account within days if you do that type of thing. So lot sizing is important, and that's why you need to demo trade for those 2 to 4 weeks to make sure your lot sizing is in line with the risk that you're exposing yourself to. The second thing is, set files are generally not transferable. But one of the biggest adjustments you need to make is that if you are using a broker that has a server of GMT +3 and your set file has been created using GMT, you need to adjust the time of day settings. As simple as that. And it's a simple adjustment. In this example that I've just mentioned, you just need to add 3 to your time of day settings. So instead of starting at 8 o'clock, you might start at 11. So those are basic adjustments that you need to do to get some form of alignment between set files that you might use and your broker account. During the testing period, you will experience error messages. Now, it's important that you experience them, know what to do. There are error message explanations. Most of the error messages, and we also get a lot of support in questions about error messages, they do identify the error, but more importantly, they tell you what to do to resolve the error. For instance, if there's a DLL hasn't been authorized when you're trading, it says DLL has not been authorized. To authorize DLLs, do the following things. And a lot of people see the error message, they get such a fright, they don't read the solution to the error. So please, it gives you an opportunity to experience error messages, but also resolve error messages. Then, before you actually even demo trade a set file, you should do basic back testing of that set file. So in other words, see if you're getting reasonable results using that particular set file. And just a warning here, do not try and duplicate the results that we have achieved with the set files. It is almost impossible to do that for various reasons, because of broker account differences, data differences, leverage differences, a whole lot of other differences. One of the main reasons why the setting results differ is because the genetic algorithm is used to create these settings. Now, it uses random techniques to find the most appropriate settings. So if we use it one day, the next day, that genetic algorithm will result in different settings from the previous day. So if we can't duplicate our own results, what chance do you have of duplicating our results much later? So what chance do you have of duplicating the results as a result of the use of the genetic algorithm? So don't waste your time trying to duplicate to try and get exactly the same profit figure that we get with our set files. A lot of traders waste their time on that particular activity. Rather, make sure that the set files produce a reasonable result. Then, in those 2 to 4 weeks, it's best not to just test one version of the set files. Rather, test 8 to 10 variations of the set files using different currencies, different time frames, different settings, that kind of thing, so that you can test a basket of settings. When you're going to be trading live, you don't essentially want to put all your eggs in one basket, but if you are going to do that, at least test 10 and take the best of those 10. Then the next thing you can do in that time is to link your account to FX Blue, your demo account to FX Blue. And why we do that is mainly because you cannot tell the profitability of those 10 settings or 10 variations that you're trading very easily in the MetaTrader platform. FX Blue allows you to see the profitability by currency and by strategy, especially if you use different magic numbers for each strategy that you're testing. You can then very easily see the profitability of each of your variations that you're trading. So it's quite essential that you use FX Blue to analyze your results. Then there's a system, and I will be giving links to the systems which are called the I Wonder approach. And that is part of the back testing of your set files. What you then do is you say, oh, I'm getting this result, but I wonder if I change this setting, if it will improve results or not. So it's a very simple approach, but in fact, it works very well, especially for the time of day settings, which I would always say that is number one that you need to test on the I Wonder approach. But it does work with other settings too, where you just simply say, I wonder if I change this setting a little bit, will it improve results or not? A really simple approach. In those 2 to 4 weeks, you can study and understand the robot settings and the way the robot trades very well. So in other words, you can look at the chart, see the trades that the robot's taking, look at why it's taking those trades in terms of the settings that you're applying, and you get to know the robot at the same time. Very important to know the robot, especially in times when you are not getting the results that you want to achieve. Then in those 2 to 4 weeks, it gives you an opportunity to use support and resources provided. Now, a lot of traders don't reread the marketing page because that's where we put a lot of the resources. They don't use the technical support that's provided if they run into problems, and they struggle on their own. And we have got world-class support that we can offer you. So if you do run into problems, do as much research on your own, but if you get stuck, contact our support departments and they will help you. Then over those 2 to 4 weeks, you need to be happy with the trading results that you're achieving. Not all of them will be profitable, but make sure that you're happy with the trading results. So don't worry if some of these ones failed. That's very important information. It's basically saying stay away from these currencies, stay away from these time frames, rather use this time frame and that currency. So you're gaining a lot of information, and you also should be happy about the information that you've gained. Then also each EA allows you to monitor the spread volatility. There's an information section that will monitor the spread volatility for you and tell you what is the highest spread reached, what is the lowest spread reached, what is the average spread reached. And that's very important because a lot of robot trading success is based on spread volatility. Then the other reason why you have to trade these for 2 to 4 weeks is to make sure that broker differences do not negatively affect your results. For instance, brokers can have different trading times. They can just a GMT server and a GMT +3 server have different trading times. One closes off early on a Friday and the other one opens later on a Monday. So there are those things. There's also minimum stop levels, which means that you can't enter a deal that is within a certain number of pips of the current price. So there's a whole lot of those little things. There's margin requirements. Some brokers base their margin on the quoted price, others base their margin on their reference price, and therefore you need to be aware of those differences. Some brokers will actually have non-trading times round about their midnights. In other words, they actually say for the next 10 minutes you cannot trade, and we're going to use that time to balance our books and reset things for the next day's trading. And some brokers have maximum open trades. Some EAs use a lot of open trades, and you can hit the maximum if you don't know what your broker specifications are. Those are only just some of the differences in brokers, and also some of the reasons why set files are not transferable. Now, the purpose of this video was to just make you aware of all the things that you can do in those 2 to 4 weeks while you are testing in your new robot. And all of those activities will increase your potential of success tremendously. Now, I hope you found this video interesting, and as I mentioned earlier, most of the links of the items that I've discussed in this video will be included in the description of the video as well as the first comment of the video. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.